guys, it's Kelly and today's video is slightly different from my usual content. I'm actually showing you guys a video that I filmed for a contest a few weeks ago, but I really wanted to share it with you guys. So super quick backstory, I was recently announced as a semi-finalist in a contest for Sally Beauty Supply to choose their next ambassador. That's actually still going on, so it would be super awesome if you guys could vote for me. I will put a link down in the description so you can check that out. But part of the contest was for me to submit a video of my best tips and tricks for beginner nail artists. That is what I'm showing you guys really quickly, but since it's not meant for my YouTube page, it sounds a little different than my usual stuff, so I really quickly wanted to jump on here and give you guys a little disclaimer. So I will have all of the products that I use linked in the description so you guys can check that out as well. But yeah, without further ado, let's just get into the video, and then I'll meet up with you guys at the end again too, because obviously I don't have a fun fact or anything in this video and I wouldn't want to deprive you guys of that. So yeah, roll footage. What's up everybody? Thank you for tuning in. My name is Kelly Marissa and I am a YouTuber and a nail polish lover. I've got over 2,000 bottles of nail polish in my collection, which is always growing, and on my channel I share new nail polish reviews and swatches. I do nail art tutorials, I do tips and tricks for beginners, and I even throw in the occasional makeup video. But today I'm going to be talking to you guys about 4 nail art hacks that you absolutely need to know. So let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, so tip number 1 is always use a top coat when you're working with tape. As a nail artist who loves to do more DIY stuff, I use tape all the time, whether it's striping tape, which is that really thin tape that's specifically used for nail art, or even just Scotch tape. And it's a really great way to get a clean line if you're doing a French manicure, or if you're doing color blocking, or even if you just want to portion out different parts of your nails for different nail art designs. But my biggest tip for using tape is that you always want to apply top coat onto your base color before you actually use it. Even if you're giving your base color hours to dry, it's still gonna have a little bit of that tackiness to it. So when you apply the tape, it's gonna grip onto that tackiness, and when you pull it off, there's a chance it's gonna pull up some of your manicure with it. But if you're using top coat, the manicure is totally sealed, so it is going to create a barrier protecting the nail polish base color from the striping tape, and once you peel it off, you're gonna have that really nice clean line without having to ruin that manicure underneath. And bonus tip, if you're a little sloppy like me and you sometimes color outside the lines, you can always take a little brush and some acetone and you can clean up that area really quickly. And because you have that layer of top coat there, it's actually going to protect your manicure from getting ruined by the acetone, so it's really easy to clean up. Alright, tip number 2 is dotting tools aren't just for dots. So if you guys haven't heard of dotting tools before, they're pretty self-explanatory. Basically, it's just a tool that has a little dot on the end, and it helps you to create the perfect dot in your nail polish. So you can get this pack of 5 with a bunch of different sizes, and you can use it to create polka dots, or you can do spots on your nails, anything like that. But the cool thing is, dotting tools aren't just for creating dots. You can actually create a ton of different shapes using dotting tools with no other brushes necessary, and honestly, no skill required. So let me show you 2 of them really quickly. Alright, so number 1 is a favorite of mine. It's something I do all the time, and that is flowers. So all you need to do for this is you create a dot in the center of wherever you want your flower to be, and then using that same size dotting tool, you're going to create 5 dots around that center dot, and it's just going to create this really easy flower shape almost immediately. You can do this in any size, you can do it anywhere on your nail or as many times as you want, and it's so easy to create a flower without actually having to draw anything. And one thing that I always do to make my flower pop is I will take that same size dotting tool and a different color, and I'll just put that dot in the center again to create a little bit of contrast and show you guys like the middle of the flower. So in this example, I did do the same color as the base coat, but I also love using white or yellow or any other color that you would find in the center of a flower. Alright, and the second design I'm going to show you really quick is a heart. This is actually so much easier than using a nail art brush, and like I said, requires no skill at all. So for this one, you're going to need 2 different dotting tool sizes. I'm just using a double-sided dotting tool, so I've got one big side and one small side. So I'm going to start off with the big side, and I'm going to create 2 dots side by side, and this is going to be that tip of the heart. And then I'm just going to take that smaller side and I'm just going to create a triangle shape using the dotting tool, and then I'm just going to fill it in. It's literally that easy, and now you can do hearts anywhere on your nail. Alright, so nail art hack number 3 is make your gradients pop with a white base coat. So I actually have tons of detailed videos on my channel on how to create a gradient manicure, which is basically when one color fades into another or into multiple colors. But But the gist of it is you basically take a sponge with overlapping colors and you apply it onto your nail until it creates this sort of gradient effect. Just a really quick note, I am using liquid latex in this video around my skin. That's what the blue stuff is, so it's just going to make it a little bit easier to peel off and clean up later. If you want, you can always use tape for this as well. So one thing that I see a lot is people using the lightest color of their manicure as their base color before they go in for the gradient, and I actually think that works really well when you're talking about monochromatic manicures. Like if you're doing, for example, a light pink to a dark pink, you can always use that light pink color as your base color. But like I'm showing you guys in this example, if you're working with multiple different colors like yellow, pink, and then magenta, you're gonna find that sometimes those shades can get really lost in that base color and sometimes they'll change into a different color. So one thing that I love to do is to use a white base coat. So I just throw on a coat of white nail polish first, I let it dry, and because I have that white base coat, it's not gonna muddy up any of those colors or get them lost in the gradient. It's gonna showcase all of them really beautifully. It's not always a huge difference depending on what colors you're using, but honestly, I always prefer to use a white base coat because I just feel like it makes those colors look so much brighter and so much prettier. All right, and then my last tip for you guys, tip number 4 is don't just think of acetone as a cleaner slash remover. So acetone and nail polish remover are what we use to take nail polish off of our nails to clean up our skin after a manicure or after a particularly messy nail art, but acetone can be used for so much more than that. And a lot of people don't realize that it's actually a really awesome tool for nail art specifically. There's a ton of different ways that you can use it. So if you're doing something like a cutout with negative space, you can always draw in with a nail art brush and some acetone. You can use it to create an ink blot effect. You can use it to create sort of a watercolor look. There's so many different things that you can do with it. So really quickly, I'm going to show you guys an example. I'm going to create a smoky effect. So once I have my base color on, I'm just using white here. I'm going to let that dry completely, and then I'm going to take my nail art color. So I'm using black in this example, and I'm going to put it down on a mat, and I'm going to take a nail art brush that has acetone on it, and I'm going to start mixing the acetone in with the black nail polish. So what this does is it actually dilutes the color and it softens the opacity, and it kind of creates this watercolor for me to work with. So I'm just going to apply it in random spots over the white. I'm letting it get a little bit lighter as I go down the nail to kind of create this almost smoke rising effect. And it's so easy. You can do this with any color combination and it's really fun to work with. Again, this is something that you might want to throw on top coat for if you're worried about that acetone eating away at too much of that base color. But it's a really fun tool to play with. I think it really ups your nail art game, and it's just a really creative way to get inspired into doing different types of nail art where you don't necessarily need a bunch of nail polishes. So those are just a few of the many tips and tricks that I have to offer. So if you guys are interested in learning more, I encourage you to check out my YouTube channel, Kelly Marissa. I've got a ton more content just like this. I've got nail polish reviews, I've got nail art tutorials, I've got nail art hacks, tips and tricks, ways for beginners to get started, and so much more. So it's been an honor to be chosen as a semi-finalist for the Sally Crew contest. I'm really excited to be a part of it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope I see you in my next video. Bye! Alright, so that was the video. Hopefully you guys found those tips a little helpful. Like I said, I just wanted to share that on my channel. This was originally going to be a Nail Polish 101 video, but I ended up using it for the contest instead, so that's why it's a little different from my usual stuff. But yeah, that is it. And again, I would really appreciate it if you could vote for me. This is a really cool opportunity, and honestly, I'm just excited to be a part of it in general. But yeah, so that is it, and I will see you guys for our regularly scheduled content in the next video. Bye! And like I said, I don't want to deprive you guys of a fun fact, so I'm going to be sharing one right now. So fun fact, my first nail art ever was actually a water marble. I remember I was first getting into nail polish for a little while, but I didn't even realize that nail art was a thing. And then I found a video for water marbling, and I went and I tried it with the colors that I had, and it worked, and I was freaking out. I was so excited. So I started doing water marbles all the time, and I think that's so funny because I never do water marbles now because they're kind of hard to do. And I always think back and I'm like, I feel like I was good at them back then, but was I actually good at them, or did I just think I was good at them because I was really new to nail art? But yeah, I know I'm overdue. I really need to do a water marble, and it's been like years since I've done one, and I've built it up so much in my head that like I feel like I'm just gonna fail when I do it. But I'll do one soon, I promise. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Bye!